Welcome back to another wonderful webinar on CIA Challenge Exam conducted by Kshipra Academy, authorized learning partner of Institute of Internal Auditors India. So we are an academy for auditors, specifically focusing on internal audit. Now in terms of why CIA certification, Certified Internal Auditor, it gives you a global recognition and improves the proficiency in terms of global internal audit standards. People look at you as a credible internal auditor and improves the competencies. We have seen higher income from our learners community base itself. People who are already chartered accountants completed CIA. Within a year, they have gone up to double the package. You know, in historically, like say statistics says up to 50% package increase across the globe. An internal auditor without CIA and internal auditor with CIA. And job opportunities are going to multifold once you get the certification. And if you look at external audit or finance or any other field, there will be multiple certifications across the globe, say CPA, ACCA, Indian CA, Australian CPA, multiple certifications for external auditor and accounting professionals. But for internal audit, the only certification which is highly recognized across the globe is the Certified Internal Auditor. So that's why it's a gold standard in internal audit. So now for people asking questions, how can I do the CIA? So there are three paths. So path one is what we are going to look at more in detail today, which is for a person who is a chartered accountant or CISA. A slide, needs to include, ACCA and CPA as well. So from an Indian perspective, it is highly CA, CISA, and now we are getting a lot of ACCAs and CPAs also. But the people have to be certified and should have an active membership. They need to get that proof from their own institute. So what is the benefit? Instead of doing 3 exams in the other part routes, you do only 1 exam. That's the biggest advantage of CIA Challenge exam. So how do you do it? Enroll for the CIA Challenge exam. And before that, there's one more step. You need to enroll as a member in the IAA fraternity, IAA India member, which will get you the global membership as well. Then enroll for the CIA Challenge exam, get the study materials, or if you register with Kshipra, you will get the study materials as well from GLIME. And devote the study hours, coaching hours, 70 plus hours, schedule and pass single exam, 4 slots annually, means 4 different months, only you can write the exam. And we'll come back to that, in detail. There is a separate slide on that. And then verify your work experience and get certified. So this is what is the route which we are going to talk about today, because we are going to talk about the challenge exam. Just for your understanding, for other people who are graduates or postgraduates, has to do 3 exams and a slightly different schedule. And for people who are 12th standard pass outs who doesn't have a degree can also get into the course through IAP, Internal Audit Practitioner, which is a foundation exam which is introduced by IAA a few years ago. And earlier the syllabus was different. Now the syllabus of CIA part 1 is equal to the IAP syllabus, and now it is made as a permanent certificate. They do the first exam and then they get the IAP certificate, which is now getting recognized across the country as well as the globe. And people are getting that first certificate after completing the first exam itself, which is a first part of CIA, and second and third part they can do it after that. If you directly get into the path 2, you can do any part anytime. Register for part 2 straight away and write it. But if you're coming through without a degree, then you need to go through the part 1 first, which is called as IAP. And here you need to show more years of work experience, 5 years here. Here it will be 2 years or 1 year. But here actually the work experience is included in your CA or CISA, so there's not much of complications in terms of work experience. So from the average time taken from a learner perspective from Kshipra Academy, it takes 12 to 18 months for people who are like say 12th standard pass outs without having a graduation degree, and 6 to 12 months. Normally we see 8 months is a ballpark number. We see a lot of people are passing during that time frame. The actual time window allowed is 3 years, but people who are with us are actually on a fast track mode. And in terms of the challenge exam, 3 to 6 months is the allowed time itself when you register for a particular month, and you need to write the exam in a particular month. So you cannot go beyond that once you register. So that is what is a challenge in the CIA challenge pathway. I hope it's clear. So a quick introduction about us, Kshipra Academy. We are focused primarily on risk management and internal auditing, where the expertise converges with education and our dedication extends beyond teaching. So we are bringing in college students and various different areas. We are bringing in people from, accountants into internal audit, as company secretaries in internal audit, a lot of different people we are coaching. through the IAP route, internal audit practitioner route, the path 3. So where the classes go a little bit slow and then we pick up speed. From a challenge exam point of view, the classes would be in a full speed because all people are professionals who are already chartered accountants or ACCAs or CISAs, and limited time is what they have. So Kshipra Academy is a recognized official learning partner of IA India. You can see our name listed in the IA India website. And yesterday we were sponsoring the IA Madras annual conference, and we had a wonderful time with all our learners and the wider fraternity as well. Okay, wonderful. You can follow us on Kshipra Academy's page in LinkedIn and various other social media platforms to get to know when the batch starts and what we are doing and where you can get more information. Where we are located in Spencer Plaza, which is one of the iconic mall in Chennai, one of the first malls in Asia as well, still well maintained. And this is our office there in Spencer Plaza. And we do take online classes fully, so you don't need to worry that you need to come to the class, but this is for people who wanted to attend the physical classroom sessions, in-person sessions. We have a facility as well here. Okay. A quick introduction about myself. I am Solepan Kabali. You can see or go through the various certifications I've gone through and decades of experience, traveled across multiple continents for the purpose of audit. And after roughly about 15-16 years of experience or 20 years of experience, I have quit the corporate life and came into complete teaching, as well as the GRC related consulting work for US companies and other corporates. So right now my prime focus is on teaching and training, and we are doing a lot of corporate trainings as well for various Indian PSUs, Big Fours and MNCs, primarily in the field of audits and CIA coaching and challenge coaching, as well as a lot of GTM modules, global training modules, which come from IA US, which we deliver to a lot of corporates. And we are getting into college students as well and teaching to the college students. I used to teach US CMA for Loyola College in Chennai, one of the premier colleges, Loyola Stella Maris Etiraj. So multiple courses. Now the numbers has to be updated. It is 8+ years. So into teaching, and I'm a certified life coach as well. So bring down the mental pressure for students to ensure that they're able to perform at the optimal level during the exam. We do conduct the exam strategy session, which is one of the unique sessions across the country, where we talk about the mental toughness required for the exam and do bring in NLP techniques and bring in practical insights as to how you can implement in your life and bring positivity for your exam. A lot of people have done that not only for their exam, they've used in their other areas of their life and got a lot of results. So with that, let's move quickly. So as a certified internal auditor, where do you get work? What can you do? You can join consulting or Big Four companies. You can get into industry jobs. You can become a freelancer. Okay, so all different avenues are there. A lot of new fields are opening up, like say anti-money laundering, enterprise risk management, compliance, cybersecurity, third-party risk management, governance risk and compliance, AI projects, digitization projects, IT risk management. See, the internal auditor is actually in the inflection of where the person knows more about the business as well as the controls and risk. So it's a kind of wonderful profession where multiple areas are now looking for internal auditors to add value. So you can see standard operating procedures to business excellence, intelligent automation, DPR, re-engineering. So we have put a few here and there, but everything is applicable to most of the places. I mean to say, industry jobs can also be there in consulting jobs can also be there in industry. So just for optics, we have put few buckets here and there. And people can also, after years of experience, can do freelancing. So I was doing freelancing for quite some time. Now I've started my own company for doing my consulting work. So now you can move forward. So what is CIA Challenge Exam? It is your chance to join more than 195,000 CIAs across the globe, more than 150 countries. It is highly respected global certification, which is in existence for more than 50 years. In 2024, we celebrated the Golden Jubilee. And I myself, as CIA from 2010 exams. So I myself have 16 years of experience after becoming a CIA. I know how CIA gave me wings to fly. Because of CIA, my nameplate was there in the name board of the global headquarters in US of the manufacturing company, and was able to travel across the globe. So primarily the wings was given by CIA more than anything else. So what is that you need to do? You need to learn the Global Internal Audit Standards, GIAS, and how do you write the exam? 150 MCQs, multiple choice questions, and the time allotted is only 180 minutes, 1.2 minutes per question, which is the toughest part. And they scale the score from 150 to 750, and you need to score 600. The scaled score of 600 means roughly about 80 percentile you need to score to pass the exam. So which is a tall task compared to any other exams. People will be easily able to understand the subject and topic, but to get the 600 mark is actually a bigger challenge. That is why this exam itself is a challenge exam, and where you need to go through all three parts of CIA in one single sitting. So that's the most important challenge. People can easily score 550, 560, 70 and struggle to score, from 590 to 600 crossing the finish mark. That is why you need to go through a lot of MCQs and a lot of trainings we provide for people as to how to tackle the tricky MCQs. The concept is not going to be very tough if you are reasonably comfortable with the internal audit and the frameworks, but the questions are going to be really tough. So that is why you need a professional guidance. Okay, as I told you, the program timeline. So we're looking at, right now we are in March. So February, the exam window got closed. It was in the old syllabus. Now we have got into the new syllabus. From April, the registrations will get started. When you can write the exam, when you register in April, you can write the exam only in June or in August. You cannot write in July, you cannot write in May. In June, entire month, the window will be open. It is you feel free to schedule the date which you wanted to write the exam. The slots will be open in the Pearson View Exam Center in your city, in your location. Most of the bigger cities, there are locations, and we are also keep on adding the locations. I also liaise with the Chief Growth Officer of IA India. So recently there is one more center opened up in Tamil Nadu region, in Bangalore region. Multiple updates are coming up there. So when you register in April, you need to write in June. That means you essentially have 1.5 months or 2 months gap to write the exam. Or if you think that it is not possible, you need to complete it by August. You cannot postpone it any further. Once you register, only 6 months it will be valid. So from April, if you count 6 months, by September or October it will be over. So you are not eligible for the next exam window, which is there in November. So this is the biggest challenge. If you are committing it, you need to complete the exam within 6 months, within the 2 window months which are open, which is June or August. This hasn't changed from the old syllabus or the old scheme. These are all same formalities, same thing which remains. Okay, so with that, let's move forward. What is the significant changes? This is what is most important for a lot of people who are already aware about the challenge exam. Earlier it was IPPF 2017 framework, International Professional Practices framework, and now it is 2024 framework. Okay, before that, there is some questions. I think I'm getting alert. Let me see what questions are there. CA challenge, the Kshipra Academy candidate to appear for part-wise exams. Yes, Mahesh. Yeah, we do part-wise. And if I'm registered under old CIA challenge syllabus, do IA give me access to new syllabus material under same registration? Do I need to re-register for new course? So as I told you, every time you need to register for the course, in the sense you need to pay that whatever $1,000+ to get access to the course as well as to the exam, because the same old what is that, the materials are all completely changed. Okay, and there is a registration time validity, so we need to look at that. It's a case to case basis. They will arrive at what can be done, and now the syllabus is completely changing. We need to work out as to, we need to talk to the IA US to get to know exactly what is your date and whether you are eligible, if so for how many more months. So it's a tricky thing in terms of whether the syllabus new materials will be available for you from the IA portal. Okay, for Deepthi Bhatia. And moreover, we recommend people to go through the GLIME material, which is proven, successful for a lot of candidates from our institute perspective as well as across India, because IA India recommends the GLIME material to be used for all our students, for all the learning partners. Wherever you go, GLIME material will be used, and a lot of success rates are there. So the material will be crisp. So that's the reason why we use the GLIME material. Does this webinar cover the changes in new compared to the old syllabus? Yes, we are covering it already. Okay, so I think I've answered all the questions. Aragu ma'am, you can close these questions on the screen. and I can get back. Okay. So 2017 standards was applicable until last, yesterday exam people who have taken in February. And now going forward, it is going to be IPPF 2024, or it got applicable from last year. And last year itself, three-part exams got changed into new syllabus. But for challenge exam alone, they were waiting for giving a little bit more time. Now is the time they have changed it to the new syllabus. So who can do this? CA, ACCA, CPA qualified and who are having valid or active membership can do it. On the other side, there was one more route called as CISA. People who are CISA certified and active members can also do it. Until last year, the syllabus for the accountants and the information security auditors were different. Okay, two different syllabus, though both were called as challenge exam. So they keep calling out saying that CIA challenge exam for qualified accountants, CIA challenge exam for CISAs. But now they have merged both syllabus. So I'll come back to the details of what is the syllabus in the coming lines below. Okay, now reduction in fee structure. There is a little bit reduction in the fee structure, which we will be going through in the last slide. And for IA India, there is going to be further more reduction, but which is still the numbers are not yet out, but it's actually a good news. In terms of, because the registration is going to start only in April, there's one more month there. You'll get to know that quite soon. All learners to study both accounting and cybersecurity basics means earlier chartered accountants can skip accounting and CISA people can skip cybersecurity because in the syllabus they have removed them. But right now, a very small topic of accounting and cybersecurity are there for any learner, whether through three-part or for challenge, and whether they are qualified accountant or information security auditor. So it is now included officially in the syllabus. Earlier, though it was excluded from the syllabus, we keep hearing here and there that the questions were still coming. So now the syllabus itself is saying that it is included. So we need to gear up for that. So then what is the advantage of doing challenge exam? From part one, there are few topics which are waived, like the standard regular industry topics, like what is governance, what is risk management, what is, controls, and what is advisory versus assurance. So basic topics and all were removed, but still the standards still remain the same. You need to study that. So part 2 and part 3 full syllabus is applicable for CAA challenge exam. So if you are comparing between part 1, 2, 3 and challenge exam, part 2 and 3 same to same, line by line, word by word is there for challenge exam. Only in part 1 there is some kind of waiver which is given. There are the basic topics were removed or pulled out. I hope I made it clear. Any questions on this slide from Deepthi Bhatia, from anyone? Okay. 3 years will expire in September. New material under old registration. Okay. So Deepthi, we can take this question often, because we need to talk to IA India. They need to write email and check the validity of this particular question you are asking about. 2024 registration, because they go by the year of registration, and now the entire syllabus got changed. I'm not very sure, so we'll go through the IA India route and then we'll get back. So maybe you can get in touch with our team. I think you have already reached out to our team earlier as well, or we had a connect. Okay. Sandeep Chaudhary, any questions from your side? Okay, if no questions, then let's move forward. What is the syllabus? Okay, in terms of CIA syllabus, which is applicable for challenges, foundations of internal auditing, which is coming from part 1. What is objectivity, confidentiality? All these are coming from part 1. In the new syllabus, quality of the internal audit function, or the QAIP, which we call, is moved to part 3, but it is also applicable here. And internal audit function, again from part 3. What does an internal audit function should do, should not do, how do they maintain the records, how do they groom their people, how do they do their budgeting, finance, everything will come under the internal audit function. How do they put supervisors to monitor each and every activity? So all those things will come there. Internal audit plan, the year-end calendar, how we are going to do for the next year. How do you plan it? How do you do risk assessment? How you get things done for the entire year planning? This is going to come under internal audit plan. Components of internal audit engagements, what are all the components there? How do you do it? How do you plan it? Everything is going to come here, which is all coming from part 2 from here onwards. and controls, frameworks, audits, and business continuity. The basics of what is a control, the frameworks such as, the ISO frameworks and, the COSO framework. So those kind of frameworks will be covered here. Cybersecurity risk and control, as I told you, a brief introduction. We need to be aware even as a certified internal auditor. It is not only dedicated for CISA, so we need to be aware. So everybody needs to have that basic knowledge, so they have included that. And accounting concepts and accounting and performance measures. So even though we are internal auditors, a lot of time we bump into finance. We need to know what is the impact from a financial perspective. Even if you pick an operational issue, we need to tell that what is the volume, what is the materiality, what is the number. So we need to understand basic concepts of accounting. So those will be covered here. And then moving forward, you can see business process and cycle, the basics of what is procure to pay, what is HR process, what is order to cash, so those kind of business process, and where you put controls and how you plug the risk. Resources and procedures, what are all the different types of resources you have and what kind of procedures you can do to get your assurance. Risk assessment, when do you do, whether you can rely on the management risk assessment or you need to do it. A lot of clarity will come when you go through these kind of syllabus here. Information gathering, so what are the ways you can gather information, how do you validate which information is better, so those kind of topics. All these are coming from standards. Analyzing the information, again these are all, until here it is all about part 2, and from now on it's going to be part 3, documentation, evaluation, conclusion is also part 2. From here you need to have a supervisor for every engagement, somebody has to review it. How do you communicate your audit report, interim report, what does the standard says about it, and engagement results and monitoring, action plans and communications. All these stuff are coming from part 3. So this is what is the synopsis of the entire syllabus for CIA challenge exam, whether you are a chartered accountant, ACCA, CPA, or you are a CISA. It's the same single syllabus right now. Okay. Any questions so far? Let me just get back to the questions window. Yes, auditing standards will definitely come, which is basically the GIAA standards which I had mentioned, Sandeep, Global Internal Audit Standards. It will come in the challenge exam. That is the purpose of we doing the CIA course itself. A person who is not a CIA might not be aware of the Global Internal Audit Standards, but a person who is a CIA should be aware of all the Global Internal Audit Standards, which is coming through the IPPF framework. So definitely it will be there. That's a prime differentiation between a CIA and a non-CIA. Okay, I hope that clarifies Sandeep's question. Any other questions? Okay, then let's move forward. So we have, as I told you, classroom sessions as well as online live streaming sessions. And weekend classes, what is the timing? You can look at the bottom, Saturdays and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And if you miss a particular session, you will get the recorded sessions as well, which you can leverage at your own timing or time zone. For people from other countries, sometimes they might be required to skip the classes due to the timing. So that will also be covered through the recorded sessions. And training from industry experts, it's not only me, we'll also have a few more people for information security, accounting and other topics will be coming and addressing it. The same length and breadth as through which I do. Okay, and then mentoring sessions for exam strategy. This is what is a signature session which we spoke about, where all your exam fears and doubts will be cleared and you'll be in a positive frame of mind using the NLP techniques. It's a wonderful session. People should not miss it. It happens monthly once. Mock exams. There'll be a lot of mock exams inside your GLIME as well. And on top of it, we'll give additional mock exams from other sources to make sure that you are comfortable with any type of question which is going to come. Because whatever is coming from GLIME might not appear in your final exam. So as a learner, you need to be prepared to tackle any new questions coming up. So that's why we prepare you for multiple mock exams. Every weekend there will be a mock test or a mock exam. Means 20 marks or 50 marks or 100 marks. Some test or the other is going to happen. It is all about your commitment in which you are going to participate and answer the questions and get closer to the exam. Live query sessions. Right now we are in a webinar mode, so that's why we are not able to see and discuss live. But no, I'm going to open up the questions window after I complete this deck as well. And live query sessions will be available for every session. So I'm going to be live online on video, as well as people also should open their video. So it's going to be a live interactive session, and it's going to be like a workshop. And a lot of different views will come into picture, and we'll be discussing, debating every session. There will be few questions will be touched upon, how to answer the question and how to address the tricky questions, lengthy questions, the tricky wordings. All those things we'll be able to address. And then in case, I think for challenge it's not applicable, but what I meant is placement support, because already you people are professionals who are working in large MNCs or banks or companies or consulting firms. But in case if you require, we have a separate division for placement where my colleague Balaji is supporting people on that. Okay. So the material we'll be providing is a GLIME material, GLEIM. You can Google it and check it up. If you need to buy the GLIME material, that itself will cost you around $500 to $600. So that material itself will be included as part of the course. As authorized learning partner, we buy the material and give it to you at a subsidized cost. So that's why we are able to offer the entire course less than the cost of the GLIME material. I repeat it, the entire cost of the course, including GLIME material with all these benefits, and you will also have an exclusive access to our member community where you can post questions anytime and get the answers resolved. So all those are possible here, and it is up to you to utilize the benefit and get closer to the pass mark. And we are there to support you, handhold you, guide you in every aspect of either from registration to exams, and also your mental toughness. So everywhere, from technical questions answering, everywhere we are there to support you. So you are in the safe hands. Now, if you need to get into the course, what is the first step you need to do? You need to become an IA India member. If you are not already IA India member, you should become IA India member. Rolling membership of 365 days. If you are an individual, you need to pay 4,500 rupees plus GST. If it is the first year, there will be another 2,000 rupees will be applicable for first year. So 6,500 plus GST, 7670. So that also we help people to get the membership. If you pay the membership fees also through us, we'll get the IA India membership for you. Otherwise, you can also go to IA India website and get the membership by yourself. And if your company is sponsoring you, that is a different package here. And if you're a college student or a CA student and not earning member, then it's a student membership. This has a little bit more documentation to prove that you're a student. So that is why the pricing is subsidized for students. Otherwise, in general, you should be looking at this 4,500 plus GST or 6,500 plus GST. Okay. Now comes the most important part. So in terms of the CIA challenge training fees, as I told you, GLIME cost itself is around $500 to $600, but we are offering the course at 40,000 plus GST, and which will include whatever I mentioned, 6 months of access to the video, 6 months of GLIME access, everything will be there. Why it is restricted to 6 months? Primarily because when you register in April, you need to write the exam within 6 months. That is what is the challenge exam rule. So that is why it is restricted to 6 months. Even GLIME will be restricted to 6 months. And if you want to understand the cost, why we wanted you to become a member, because for non-member, you see that the, I'm sorry, so there is a slight change here. It's not for retake. Okay. So this is, forget about, is my screen sharing visible now? Is my screen shared or not? Somebody?
No, sir.
Share it again. Okay, it's not for retake. Basically, you need to look at these two numbers. One is for membership, or like say one is for application and another is for exam. So $995 is applicable for people who are members. Okay, if you are a non-member, it is around $1,625. So around $600, $700 you get discount being a member by paying 7,000, 8,000 rupees. So which is 70,000 savings you are getting when you pay just 7,000 rupees. So that's why we strongly recommend you to become a member. And for IA India members, it will be slightly further discounted and reduced. So our IA India leadership team is working out and getting the rates. Anyway, the rate is going to be applicable from April only. So by that time, you'll be able to get to know the exact pricing. And for people who are attending this session webinar, the pricing of 40,000 is also sliced down. There is a deep discount going, for the first few seats. You need to talk to Aragu ma'am. The number will be displayed in the next screen, and there is a QR code. Immediately scan this QR code and fill in your details. You'll be able to get up to 1/3 of the pricing as a discount, which is a deep discount, and ensure that you are able to avail the discount. So you can reach out to our team at this number right away to avail the discount. When the classes are starting from the coming week itself. So the sooner you register, you will get the GLIME material. Otherwise, GLIME material itself will take a week's time, and we will be able to provide you GLIME material only after you become an IA India member. So you need to do that process as well. So ensure that you are doing the formalities faster. The classes are starting from the coming Saturday itself, and it will go for 2 months. And early May, the classes will close, and you will get thorough knowledge of all three parts. The excluded portion alone, you remove it. So part 2, part 3 fully, and part 1 whatever we discussed. You'll get a GLIME module, line by line thorough revision of the concepts will be provided. As I told you, the class timings are Saturday morning 7 to 10 a.m., 4 to 7 p.m. in the evening, and Sunday morning as well. Sunday evening mostly you'll be having test and mock exams. Okay. People who wish to avail the offer can do the QR code scanning and go through the documentation and talk to Aragu ma'am. So now let me open up the forum for questions. Whose question is this? Padma has asked a question. Can you please answer my question again? Which question? Padma has posted anything earlier, is it? Company secretary. Okay. Know the prospects of getting into internal audit. Yes, Padma. So definitely internal audit is actually booming right now. That's what I would say. If you look at my LinkedIn feed itself, I see every day a lot of people are looking for recruiting internal auditors, and everywhere the numbers are growing. A lot of GCCs are setting up in India primarily for audit. Earlier, Big Fours were having their Indian setup, Indian GCC in India. Now all the top 50 companies are US are coming down to India. So internal audit, after a lot of regulations and a lot of governance monitoring and oversight is there, internal auditors are getting more traction. When you do CIA, you don't only get into internal audit. As I told you, you'll get into risk management, internal audit, or allied fields. So a lot of scope is there, but it all depends upon which stage you are in your career. If you are in the early stages of company secretary, I know, my friend, and he's also taking classes with us, Kiran Kumar. We can look at his profile as well. He's also a company secretary, but he joined a bank in a internal audit job. After that, he became a CIA, and then now he's circulating between Big Fours and banks and large MNCs as an internal auditor. So, but if you're already having maybe 20 years or 10 years of experience and you are at a very high package, then you need to think about whether you'll get a same level of package to jump into internal audit. It's a call which you might have to take. Okay, anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, I can quickly go through what is GLEM and how we can, get to, familiarize yourself with GLEM. So, John Oliver, okay. Any other questions? Feel free to raise your hands. I can open up your audio and video as well. Okay. If not, let me share the GLEM. Harini is asking, can we register in April and write in November? No. As I told you earlier, within 6 months you need to complete. So your November window is actually the 7th month. You cannot write that, but you can see what I am strongly recommending people is that before you go ahead and put your $1,000 or so, you need to, and also be mindful that whatever numbers I've quoted here, including for IAA, 18% GST is applicable. IA India or IA US or anywhere, including our Kshipra, everywhere 18% GST is applicable. That also you need to account for. On the other side, yeah, if you register in April, you can write in June or August, not in November. But if you need to gain more confidence, that is why we suggest you first pay the small amount, get into the course, get the book, start studying. Once you feel comfortable, go ahead and register and then take up the exam. Right? Otherwise, it's going to become a nightmare, because I have seen a lot of people pay the full fees and haven't prepared. They come running or rushing towards the end of their window, 6 months closing for classes. It's not going to be easy, because 3 subjects you need to study completely. Right? 3 parts, 3 books. That is what it is rightly named as challenge exam. Okay, let me start sharing the people who are looking to register. Make sure that you are doing it today to ensure that you get, fall within the cutoff to get the discounted price. Okay, so now you are able to see my Gleim. So how do we, okay, this is what is the Gleim dashboard for myself. As a trainer, I get, multiple courses here. Let me just, I hope my screen is visible. Aragam, can you confirm?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, so you can see this is 2026 edition is already available with Gleim. I go to the course. So I get a premium system, which means it's much more than $1,000. So, but more or less the navigation would be the same. So just quickly we'll take you through. I don't know why Gleim is taking time. The server is slow. So you see that until when your access is there, and we will be giving you a code. Once you register with Kshipra, you need to put the code at the bottom. It will say that, add a register a code for this. Click that link, and then you need to put the code and get the access to your course. Okay. In the meantime, any other questions people have, feel free to post it in the chat window. The training course is for both June and August. Yes, exactly. That's right. Because the training takes more than 2 months. We will, I'm not sure at the moment whether we'll be opening up a separate batch for August, considering the time window it takes. And also people, after I complete the class in the month of May, you need to do at least 1 month of, rigorous practicing so that you are able to pass the exam. Understand it, only 30 to 40% people are globally passing even the challenge exam. Okay, challenge exam also is having a pass percentage of 30 to 40 people passing out of every 100. So generally why it is happening is that people are professionals working in large MNCs or companies, having a lot of pressure, family commitments, and they think that this exam, okay, the concepts and all I've studied earlier, I can easily complete it. Because of their overconfidence, they go for the exam with under preparation. Because of under preparation and overconfidence, the exam questions are not going to change. It's going to be tricky again. So they are going to score somewhere between 60 to 70% or maybe 75%, and still it's called as a fail. So that is why we strongly recommend people to do at least, even after the class are over, 1 month of, rigorous revision and going through all the mock exams and score at least 90% in the mock exams to ensure that you are able to face the final challenge exam. And there is a significant increase in the percentage of people who are passing with our academy. There is, you can go to the LinkedIn post, you can see all the people who have passed through our academy. Recently, few days back, it was posted in LinkedIn. You can connect with them as well and understand about how do we conduct the course or the class, whatever doubts you have. Okay. IA India website for registration. Yes, I can show. Hold on for a moment. Is Gleim loaded? No, I don't know why for some reason Gleim is finicky here. Okay, now let me show you the IA India website in the meantime. So go to iaindia.co. I hope my website iaindia.co is visible for you. Can somebody give a thumbs up? Okay, thumbs up has come. So you can see that a lot of resources are here available for the 7,000, 8,000 rupees what you put. You can see a lot of training, programs, conferences. Sometimes these might not be updated, but you will be forming part of the chapter group. For people who are from Mumbai, there will be a Mumbai chapter group, Chennai chapter group. There are a lot of upcoming trainings, webinar sessions will keep coming there. So you will be able to go through them. And there will be magazines which are published, which will come and land in your inbox. And you can do the global certification of these courses here. And you can see learning partners. You can see our name appearing as Kshipra Academy. Now it is on ABCD order. Okay, we have recently shifted to Spencer Plaza. That's why it's a slightly old address, but you can find us there in the IA India website. Okay, very few learning partners are there from the South region itself, and from Chennai or Tamil Nadu. Right now, we are the only learning partner we are doing this course. And our students are primarily not only from Tamil Nadu, we have students from Dubai, Middle East, and North India, and Kolkata and other places as well. So now when you come back to the home page, you can go down. Okay, I didn't come back to the home page, so let me go back to the home page. So you can see at the bottom the individual membership 4,500 plus GST. Click on this apply, put it as new member, and then select CI membership you don't have, and then put your degree, put the basic details, and say which chapter you want to get affiliated to depending upon your location. Say if you put Kolkata, then only the number will get populated. Put your basic details here, and then you can see the number updated 4,500 plus 2,000, 6,500 plus 1,170, and then click save, and then it will take you to, I think, a Razor Pay page. Pay the amount, immediately you will get an email saying that the fees is paid. Within 2 to 3 days you will be able to get the GAN number, which is global account number, which is coming from IAA globally. That number is required for us to get you the discounted price for Gleim material and share it to you. And now if you can see this here, this is what is a global website. So here also you might have to get into sign in, and not now, after you get the GAN number, and then there will be a link coming from the global team. So click on the link and you will be able to come to the iaa.org website, and then you will be able to sign in, and then you can see your membership number, and from there you need to click on and register for the CIA course as an application for challenge exam. Okay. Fine. Now finally my Gleim tab is open. So you can see that in Gleim, onboarding, first pass, mock exam, final review, mock exam. So see, these are all my premium versions, so slightly something might be extra here. But in general, you get all the topics, whatever I mentioned here. You'll get the materials here, and then the questions are also there inbuilt into the material. If you get into this topic, let me see if that page is getting open. So we'll be going through the entire material. From Gleim itself, we have the session slides as well, which is directly from Gleim. So you'll be feeling much more comfortable in going through the classes and going through the questions. You're seeing that inside that you have 4 subtopics available: internal audit mandate and impairment of independence, role in risk management, and risk management process. There will be questions diagnostic quiz here. You can click here and then go through the quiz, and there will be adaptive quiz. Depending upon how you score, it'll change the questions here. So this might not be applicable for your this thing, but the questions will be there. So these are all additional things which will be available for me in terms of the premium package, but otherwise this is what is pretty much your Gleim access as well. Any other questions from anybody? IA India website, yes, I have shown for John Oliver. Any other questions? Sandeep is saying yes. I don't know whether he's going to type a question maybe. Or if you want to open up the mic and talk, feel free to raise your hands. I can open up your mic. We have a few more minutes. Talk the questions through. Okay, somebody has raised their hands. Deepthi Bhatia. Yes, Deepthi, what's your question?
So my question is basically, so comparing the old course with new course. So you mentioned only part one has been eliminated, two and three will continue.
No, no, no. You need to understand old part 1, part 2, part 3 is all completely reshuffled now. It is not
Okay,
anymore the same. They have
okay,
bucketed it. Part 1 is primarily for, independence, objectivity, what is the qualities of internal auditor and the foundations of internal audit. What is the internal audit charter, mandate, what is governance, risk
yeah,
management controls. Okay, this is part
right,
1. QAP
right.
was earlier there in part 1, that is moved to
One,
part 3 now. That is moved to part 3 now
okay,
because that is all. Part 3 is now how do you manage the internal audit function of the team. How do you manage the
okay,
quality, how do you manage the resources, how do you report it, how do you write the report, what is the supervisory review required, how do you manage the HR function within the internal audit, groom your resources. All those things are there in part 3. And part 2 is about how do you conduct your audit, how do you plan the audit, how do you do risk assessment, what is accounting, what is information security, how do you information gather, analyze the information, perform it and report it. So all those things will be there in part 2. A slightly overlap of reporting alone will be there between part 2 and part 3 as well.
okay. And in old course, the cyber security or the IT piece was a lot. So
Mm.
does that continue or has that been reduced?
It is continuing, but the number of topics are limited. It's not to that extent of length which was there in the old syllabus. In the new syllabus, it's very limited.
Okay, great. That's a great news.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, welcome. Wonderful. So, guys, very limited seats are there. Make sure that if you are planning to join, do it soon. Otherwise, you might not be able to get your materials or book. So, I'll flash the presentation again for you to do the QR code scanning. Let me see. Yeah, this slide. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else has any other questions? Feel free to ping me. I can open up the audio video. We have a few more minutes. Is there anything on the Q&A? Sandeep, you have any question? Okay, somebody is asking. Oh, there are some questions here. I didn't see. What is this? Okay. Where can I find the auditing standards in GLEM material? GLEM material auditing standards are inbuilt into the sections where I've shown you. When you open up a particular topic, inside that whatever is the standard is applicable, which is inbuilt into it. We don't need to memorize the standard number, so they might not be giving you the standard number like in CA exam. Chartered accountancy exam will go through the BAR Act and remember the numbers and other things, which is not required here. So they'll put it in a condensed form, easier for us to digest. So definitely all the required standards are there in the GLEM material. We are using it for the past few years, and in the new syllabus of part 1, part 2, part 3, we are using it for already 1 year. Okay. And I have GAN from Global IA. Will it be the same GAN when I register with IA India? Okay, John, are you from India or from any other country? So I did not pay anything in Global IA. Okay. I'm not sure how you get a membership number without paying to Global IA because generally it's a paid membership unless and until you are a North American student. Okay, John Oliver is from India. Okay, wonderful. So I'm not sure. We can take it offline. We can discuss that and take it to the IAA authorities and get it sorted out. You don't need to worry about it. We'll take care of that. Okay. And what is the question from Bhuvneshwari? Is a 6-month window applicable from the time we register with IA for the course or from the time we pay the exam application fees? Yeah, that clarity has to still come from because earlier both the fees were given together as a clubbed bundled fee. Right now they've given split it, so there might be a slight difference there. But to be on the cautious side, as usual, it is the moment you start paying it within 6 months you need to close it. So that is why we recommend you to go through the course now, which is at a much lesser cost. Once you gain confidence, if you are not gaining confidence, say in the month of April or May, then you can go for the next window and register for the November exam. So don't worry too much into that 6 months mentality. First, you get into the course, understand, because whether you write the exam or not, the course is going to be a huge value add for you, whether you're preparing for your interview or for your day-to-day job in internal audit, or if you want to get into internal audit anywhere, it's going to be highly beneficial. A lot of our students have mentioned that because the course will include a lot of practical questions and live examples, not only from me as well as from the participants. Like as I how I am opening up the audio video for people to talk here itself. In classroom sessions, a lot of discussions and debates will happen. Okay, so by joining the course, I can prepare for August exams also, right? Yes, definitely. I may not be able to write in June. Can I access the recording still? Yes, definitely. So you'll be able to access the recordings till the end of, August window. Both from Gleim as well as from our side. You'll get the video recordings until that time of the window closure. So you don't need to worry that only when you write in June, you need to register for the course now. You can also do it in August by registering for the course now. So you have some extra time to prepare and you will get all the accesses from our side and Gleim side to go through it. Okay, wonderful. Any other questions? There are some more hands raised, is it? Are people whose hands are raised, if your question is answered, please pull down your hands. Okay, hi sir, what's the estimated cost and time for part-wise exams and challenge exam? As I told you, challenge exam you need to complete within 6 months from the date of your registration. But for part-wise exams, it is 3-year window which is available. So that is why you should be, you should not take that as a relaxation and do it for 3 years. We recommend most of our students to write exam right after completion of one part. In part exam, we complete the batch, each part one month on an average. So roughly about 4 months, we complete all the 3 parts. And if people are missing one part during a particular time, next batch also they are allowed to have the free access to get into the live sessions as well. And they'll have access to the recordings for 18 months in the 3-part exam because it's a long window. 1.5 years of access we are providing to them, and Gleim also will give 1.5 years of access. So cost wise, more or less, if you look at the training cost, it will be slightly higher for 3-part exam, and the book cost will be slightly higher because it's a 18 months access and 18-month window. And on the other side, the exam fees for 3-part exam will be slightly lesser, roughly about $750 plus GST. You will be able to square it off, but here it is $1,000. So on an average, if you put both these things together, cost wise, it's going to be more or less the same. The only difference is that if you need to retake the exam, like say one exam in part, like say part-wise exam, it's going to be roughly about $250. But if you need to retake the same exam in challenge, it's going to be much more than that. So that's the primary difference or the differentiating factor. But otherwise, for people who are professionals, single part exam challenge is what is recommended. The reason being, you rigorously study for 2 months, 3 months, write the exam, close it, and then you can go for your other activities, job and family commitments. And it's again your personal choice. If you think that you wanted to take it slowly, even 3-part, we are starting a batch on 14th of March. Feel free to register in the same link. Our team will be able to guide you. So as we said, every 2 weeks we are starting a batch. So huge number of learners from our academy have recently passed, and yesterday they were felicitated in the IA Madras annual conference as well. We call it as IA Madras because the chapter name is Madras. It does not change to Chennai because of legality. So it's in Chennai, called as IA Madras chapter. Okay. Any other questions? We have 2 more minutes. Appreciate people staying till the end. So that shows the level of interest. Any other questions? Feel free to ping our team if you have any specific unique questions, or if you want any doubts or questions or registration. We are there to guide you on each and every step from your registration till you pass the exam. So we are happy to support people in this journey, and we are the only academy who is dedicated to primarily to the CIA and the internal audit fraternity across the country. Okay. If there is no other questions or no other hands raised, then we can bring this meeting to a close. We started on time and we are ending 1 minute earlier as well. Wonderful, guys. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. That's the normal way we do start the session and end the session. So have a wonderful evening and see you soon in the classes. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Solepan Kabali. I'm always there to support you, whether you join the academy or not. That's a different story, but we are all in the same fraternity professional. So feel free to reach out to me in LinkedIn as well. Okay. I hope the session was useful. So take care and reach out to us if you have any other questions. Thank you. Okay. Thanks a lot. Helpful session. Thank you. Can I get hard copies? Sandeep, you will be able to get the, Gleim ebooks. If specifically hard copies, we can work it out for you. Once you register, I'll let you know the formalities for that as well. Okay. Thank you then. With that final question, we are signing off.